Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. Sorry for anyone who was looking for some readings the last few weeks. I ended up getting quite sick and I'm just now recovering. My voice and my throat is still working on it. So let's see. We get first card out, maybe gather more information, wait and see. I was feeling like somebody has the opportunity for a new romance, may have just started for some of you, and I just filmed the Daily Dharma for today, and it was over an hour. I think that's because I haven't been online for so long, so I got out many confirmations. So if you're on the path, if the readings resonate, check that out. It might be for you. So, okay, we got a lot of them popping out right now. So what I was trying to say is it feels like somebody has this new romance, and so they've got some questions, some confirmations, wanting to get some insight. And so under the deck, it's kind of cute. I just smirked because of this. It says, "My love language is activated and I'm ready to pour into you." And then we get scared of commitment, long distance, raise your standards, know your worth, and also Leo, 5th house, fixed fire. It's ruled by the sun. So Leo to me is a card that says it's something that's a lot of fun. It has an element of passion or something that looks good to the ego, even for certain people out there. So it's like with Leo energy, we have to be aware of if it's lighting us up or if it's just appealing to one-dimensional side of a vaster personality, right? And so Leo can start out very physical and superficial, but Leo is heart-based, and so it has some innocence too to that fire. So there's something here. It seems like there's chemistry. Let's see, fiscally irresponsible comes out with shallow waters, but I mean, I don't really read reversals, but it does technically come out in reverse. So that's interesting. So if any of these are ringing true, censorship of your light, you've lost your muchness, you were much muchier before. I feel like also, as I place that below maybe and below Leo, I'm feeling like back in your heyday, maybe you were more confident, more outgoing with your energy, maybe more opportunities presented. So I may be talking to somebody who's either a little bit older or somebody who's just getting back into the swing of the dating scene or something like that. But it's kind of suggesting that maybe you need a little bit of time to kind of polish yourself up, let's say, so to speak, like to feel more yourself. Like, when's the last time you looked at your wardrobe and thought, does that really present an accurate depiction of who I am? And does it really flatter your best attributes, so to speak? Yeah, and you're coming out with this legit card. Chakra activation, be still, integrate, ground, balance, and meditate. Yeah, so all that chemistry could get away from you, and you could risk kind of losing some of your personal, authentic identity in the shallow waters of a physical connection and skipping out on this commitment end of things. So know your worth, know what you're looking for, because with this long distance card, it's kind of like know what types of things you need if you're looking for something that's going to go the distance. Or if you just want to have fun, then there's that for you as well. But I would suspect that most of the people tuning into this broadcast will be kind of looking for these and seeing some of these as red flags, like the fiscally irresponsible. You know, if you jump in with someone, you're going to miss some of the cues where somebody's telling you who they are, or, you know, if they're irresponsible with your emotions, or, you know, if there's somebody who would slowly erode your sense of autonomy. Maybe they're controlling or power hungry. You know, you don't know if you jump in with somebody, right? So it looks like you've got some of those concerns. So maybe you're kind of that old song, once bitten, twice shy, where it's like, I don't really want to jump in and commit to something if I'm not sure what the morning is going to bring as far as that person's being seen in the full light of day once the glamour wears off. So unexpected feelings deepening. I think for some of you, it's going to maybe require kind of feeling a little bit more activated in yourself with that muchness and getting back into yourself. And I think that the feelings that are deepening here are the feelings of what you really want out of the situation. And now we're getting, I don't even think, even with my sick voice, I can pull off the singing today. So it's the Janis Joplin song, Singing Soft While Bobby Sang the Blues. Windshield wipers slapping time, I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And nothing, it's all that Bobby left me, right? So anyways, it seems like what we're kind of getting is, it seems like whether it's a worry or a true concern, it's that somebody's here for a good time, not a long time, and that's not really in alignment with something that you know to be what you deserve. And so it looks like you're taking time to stay still, integrate whatever chemical response you're having to the situation, to meditate upon it and really figure out what it is that you're feeling and wanting in a situation. All right, a few more, and then let's get some tarot. Actually, no, I think I'm going to do that different. You light up the room. Things were dull, lifeless, and routine before you joined the team. So somebody really likes the way you show up in a group context. They like the way that you speak what's on your mind and bring a lot of enjoyment and easygoing, friendly nature. Ooh, we've got first kiss. And if you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter which way you go. So interesting. That's the second Alice in Wonderland reference there. So maybe some of you have found yourself kind of jumping into a rabbit hole of attraction and wondering if it's all that it's chalked up to be. So all right, let's see. Is there anything else that the viewer needs to know about the situation? Keep it simple. Yeah, don't borrow any anxiety. Maybe there's something definitely to be said with not feeling the urge to front load getting to know somebody, like, you know, having a first date and you're like, yeah, well, I want to have kids and I want to be married by the time that I'm 6 months into a relationship, and somebody's like, whoa, slow your roll, and then they're like jumping out the bathroom window type thing, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes if we lead with our expectations, that can be a healthy form of, you know, not wasting each other's time. But also it's like, can't we just enjoy each other's company and being friendly with each other and getting to know what people are like before we decide that that's like a needful conversation on the first night? So everybody will have their own ideas about that. bold declarations, say it like you mean it. Like, it's also giving that if there are certain things that are red flag deal breakers, then bringing those right up at the beginning isn't the same thing as front loading. You can say things like, well, you know, in the perfect situation, these are some of the things I find as deal breakers, blah, 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 but these are the things that I want to chat out for compatibility, and maybe in no uncertain terms, right? Yeah, I'm getting the Seven Sensations card again, talking about discerning the type of individuals that we are encountering and their type of habits and the type of evidence of a life either well lived or a life that's living someone else vicariously and they're just like a shadow walker. I think that those are the type of things that you guys are looking for, is like somebody who is deeper and has some type of meaning to offer for your life. Your simple solutions, affirming words, and common sense handling of complexity makes you highly sought after. So don't jump in with something that isn't quite up to your standards. Multi-dimensional manifester. So maybe what you're looking for seems to not exist. Maybe you're looking for someone who you've designed in your heart of hearts. And I feel like if you are this multidimensional manifester, then why would anything less do for you in return? And I feel like many of us, we're so few and far between, we can go wading into some shallow waters and we're like, oh, well, I could compromise this, and this belief. But, you know, if we give it a few extra days, there's a lot of those individuals that might surpass a few layers and levels that we're like, wow, how'd you get in so close? You're not who I thought you were, you know. And it's like taking the time to set those precedents might be on board for you. And the card I'm holding in my hand is the Goat card. You're highly protected and favored by the divine, and they want you to know that you are one of the, I mean, this sounds a little bit ridiculous. It's kind of like a gassing you up comment again, but like that greatest of all time. It's like, you know, you hold yourself to a high standard. You take measures to make sure that you take care of yourself and balance your life and do the right thing, and as you would decide it, and to speak your truth and to be a person of integrity. Then yeah, know your standards, know your worth, and let people show themselves to you and make them wait. You know, there is nothing better to start to build respect other than being a respectful person that makes people earn your affections and attentions. I mean, I'm not talking about game playing in the least. I'm talking about just staying busy, being you and doing you as a sovereign individual, and being involved in what keeps you busy and motivated and inspired, and letting other people seek for you, right? Somebody's pretending not to watch you winning. I was kind of feeling this for other individuals who you haven't had approach you yet, because you're going through exponential growth at this time, and this growth cycle is like win after win, even when it looks on the surface as challenging circumstances. The outcomes are indisputable, and they're helping you to break through some type of anonymity out into the public awareness in a greater way. Yeah, possibly because you've maybe been more introverted, whether that's just recently or throughout your life. Hippy dippy baloney. Some people don't take you seriously because you're into some things that they don't feel can be proven by mainstream society and by the more recent traditional patriarchal approaches and things like that. but your vibrant life path that you've been living that clearly follows you in this energetic cloud. No matter where you go, your energy precedes you, and it leaves behind the aroma of beauty and grace and unity consciousness. But so it leaves people kind of creeping on you, like, what do you know that they don't know? Like, how are you doing what you're doing? How do you keep winning even though other people don't believe in you and it's not mainstream? How are you not holding a traditional 9-to-5 and still paying your bills? They're creeping on your energy, wondering how that works. And here we have romantic adventure, heightened self-awareness, and preppy vibes. So I think that this heightened self-awareness and bringing you out into the public awareness more so, and having different people paying attention to you, is kind of accidentally helping you to even be more seen and more of a curiosity to some of these individuals trying to wonder what's going on with you. And I'm seeing these preppy vibes as like you fitting into multiple different types of energies, but just having a little bit more of an upscale, clean-cut persona for the most part. Don't mind the dogs. Yeah, thriving outside of the matrix. I think that this is one of the paramount importance things about your personality profile, is that you need somebody who's not going to be threatened or controlling over that type of a flow lifestyle. Your sense of style is just their vibe, they think. That vibrant lifestyle. To shift your outer circumstances, address your inner alchemy. So yeah, you've got the right vibe. Believe in yourself. It seems like that you've been maybe giving attention to some of the individuals who are more shallow or easier to capture their affections or attentions, but there's some type of maybe a difference between the two of the individuals that we started talking about with the initial romance. And it seems like there are other individuals creeping around the perimeter of the circumstance that you may or may not be fully aware of at this time, that are trying to read your energy. And the fact that they're holding back isn't because they don't have anything to offer. I think on the contrary, some of the individuals creeping around are creeping because they know their value and they don't mess around with things or people that are a waste of their energy. So yeah, I would say keep on doing you, and be as friendly as can be. Go out, have a good time, and you do you, and enjoy other people's company, but keep that next level involvement for the next thing. Suspended animation, something very surreal, frame by frame revision. I think that you almost dipped into something and maybe you're having second thoughts or really seeing something in a different way. Yeah, let's final thoughts from this deck and then we'll go on. So I'm not taking this big old pile. Their fear fuels your faith. That's what's keeping you going here and keeping you on the successful mindset. All grown up, memories, old flame. So yeah, these are some of the cards that were coming up in the previous reading. So let's jump real quick into the archetypal deck and see what energies are playing out in the dynamic here, whether this is what's kind of part of that choosing correctly, discerning where you want to go, or otherwise. Okay, we've got two piles naturally coming out and a split in the deck here wanting to show. We've got the cave on the one side, a retreat, and on the other side we've got the starborn, the mentor, and the desert. somebody who thrives outside of mainstream society and creates their own abundance. Yeah, operating as this intuitive mentor. So I'd assume that that's you, who you are over here. The first one that popped out was the sword by itself, and I feel like that's also like your clarity and truth, this kind of epiphany, awareness of like what your deal breakers are and things such as that. The bold declaration, saying it like you mean it. And it may be somebody approaching you and asking you out who you didn't see coming. So that's interesting for some. The next pile starts out with the mirror. I'm getting that what you know about this individual or have seen about them is only a surface sliver. And so this is telling me that contrary to the shallow waters of the individual who was forthcoming and chemically attracted and making bold moves perhaps here, there's somebody else who is a little less known in the circumstance, but that has a great depth of personality. Wow, they're coming out with the healer vibe and the ocean, dang, and Kairos and the gem. Oh my. Now that is giving quite an amazing package, a gift to unwrap. So yeah, this person is the total package. It's like they may have different aspects of their personality. You may know them as having 1 to 3 different things that you know about them or something, but it looks like they have shed many skins, have engaged in a lot of self-healing and self-repair and courageous confidence building. And they represented by the ocean. It's like they understand unity consciousness, how they are just perhaps just the ocean in a drop, but they see how insignificant and how profoundly powerful that their beingness is. And with the gem here, it's like they've been able to transmute all the negative situations and to be this shining gem, polished all these multiple facets, this crystalline energy. They have done a lot of spiritual work, even if they're not actively in the spiritualist trades, but I would suspect that they are doing some type of healing work with the collective consciousness as some type of a mirror or heyoka or empathic individual here. And Kairos, I sometimes forget this card's precise meaning, but it's really giving this shape-shifting energy with everything else that's on here, talking about the transpersonal, interdimensional, accumulated Akashic experience, if you can follow all of that. So it's talking about how this person, represented again by this ocean energy, is such a crystalline droplet of prismatic ocean in a drop. It's like they are represented also by this timeless awareness of consciousness in the multidimensional realms, other dimensional thinking. And so I would say that they are definitely somebody who has gone through many death and rebirth cycles in their own life. So let's get you some of this Akashic Tarot real quick, since we've got some deep cards here. With this cave, somebody's really doing a deep dive here to create this breakthrough awareness. So somebody really has a lot to connect with. Aya, stop. They're just playing. They like to play keep away, and then she hollers. We've got Hilarion, Ascended Master, that helps with the inventive expert professional mind, scientific theory, and chemistry and things like that. So maybe you're learning a lot about your own attraction patterns and how your chemical body is responding to various situations, and about your love language, and about how and what it takes for you to feel good in your own skin with that muchier Leo card, how to shine brightly but still completely authentically and from the heart space. Exactly, reflecting upon the journey and where you're going, and are you going in the same direction as the other individuals? Because if you stay on your path and don't deviate with individuals who are not going in the same direction, it'll save you a lot of time and energy and help you to fulfill all of your deepest desires and wishes. So prepare yourself for the next phase of this journey. I think that the individual that first came out is going to be fun and is going to prime the heart pump and help you to think, wow, that was pretty good. That reminded me of what it feels like to have a friend, a companion, and all these things. However, it also reminds me about this other layer of chemistry that doesn't come out there, and also about your personal aligned compatibility. And I know this is a repeat, but I watched once that it's not all about chemistry. I mean, because attraction starts with like the initial, it's like the physical attraction, the chemistry, and then that goes to, do we approach, do we speak, do we cross the boundary of opening the door, and then having opened the door, do we connect and have an exchange? Having an exchange, do we identify compatibility? And then even having compatibility, is there mutually agreed upon levels of commitment? And that is what defines the relationship, right? And so it's more than meets the eye. With this 5 of Keys, it's about, oh, are you all done in there? Okay. It's about, the 5 of Keys is about the lack mentality and what we choose to see about how to get our wishes fulfilled, balancing out our needs with our desires, and not jumping the gun so that we have wasted desire on something that doesn't fulfill our wishes. So I think that makes a ton of sense for many of us. So let's get just a few more cards. Actually, Gilded Reverie, the Norman cards, real quick. What can we tell the viewer about, oh, this one twisted in the deck? That is the card of romantic love and connection, the Lover's card. So there's an individual coming in, an opportunity to experience attraction and coming together. So the first stages and the first blush of romance, right? The first blush, there's this childlike innocence, and at the beginning there was something about birth, and now we see this child, story time, romantic reverie. Limerence could be something that people might get caught up in traditionally with the chemical romance segment of the beginning of a relationship. And it's like being emotionally intelligent tells us, yeah, we gotta ground and stabilize all that chemical stirring and say, okay, but what is it that I truly need in that situation? You know, to protect the inner child and to manage your energetic resources in a very conscious and sacred way, guarding your inner temple. Look at that, divine timing. Somebody's clock is ticking. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting for somebody worthwhile to come around. I think that there are some other aspects of where you have been at physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, that have been like keeping your best wishes as yet at a distance unfulfilled, but that doesn't mean they're not ready to be fulfilled as soon as you surpass this thing that has been persisting in kind of blocking you from landing the best deal, landing the best job, getting that dream romance. It's like, it's going to be different things for different people, but it could be a view of yourself, or a preoccupation with a vibration. Like, let's say you're all upset about politics all the time, but your highest expression is as this mentor, healer, or starborn truth teller, and leading people through the desert, chaotic times here out of the cave. You're not going to be in alignment with the one as long as you're over here struggling. It's like we can't fight for peace. And so there's something in our energy field that is, it's been in the hands of our own divine timing and our own evolutionary growth cycle, but we are seeing exponential growth. And I think that that growth has never been so evident as being able to look at this person and say, no, I think I'll just wait it out, and I'll continue preparing the sacred temple for the return of the Buddha, right? Oof, look at that. There's a big old ace of clubs there, which is that boomstick with the ring. So the ring symbolizes unity, completion, circle, and synergy at its base. It's all about things that come back around. And so the way that we commit, the things that we are committed to, I have heard multiple individuals talk about how the end of their relationship, or how they live in their relationships with their partner, and it ends up not even being friends anymore. They don't share things in common. They don't do things together. They just are not even hardly roommates. And so I think that there's definitely levels to what you're unpacking about why you've taken your time. And I swear somebody's pulling into my driveway. So I'm going to finish this up. We've got... Yeah, I hear somebody out there. So we've got the book, the moon, masks, whip, key, mature feminine, the staircase. There we go. Check that out. It's all about a decision in love. You're emotionally mature and you're liberating yourself and making some hard decisions to follow your intuition and, learning your lessons. So I'm going to stop it there. Good luck with your decision and take care.